Hello everyone and welcome to Dreadnought. In Dreadnought, you are the commander of a gargantuan battleship in an ever-expanding sci-fi universe. Take the helm and command a gargantuan battleship. That's the official game info on their site. Dreadnought is actually very similar to Fractured Space. I did a video about it a few months ago and is actually a lot of fun. I got into the closed beta a few days ago and I'm very happy about it. The closed beta is running almost month and a half ago it started, but it will run a few months more, at least that's what the developers said. So I won't go into every option here. Let's just show you what the ships look like and what you have here. So you have your destroyer class, which is like the middle ground. Then you have your Dreadnought, which is the heaviest of the ships, like with the most firepower but the slowest. Then you have your Corvette, which is the fastest and has also cloaking and stuff like that. Then you have your artillery cruiser, which is actually like a sniper that can shoot from the distance. And you have your tactical cruiser, which is more like your healer and your support ship that you can support your troops with. Now you'll also have some customization, so you can customize the weapons and the loadouts on your ship, but to be able to do that, you'll have to buy first the ship. So we'll be using the trader ships now, the default ships you get. So let's get into a match. You have here Team Deathmatch and you have Elimination. Now you have also the training match. So let's go into the Deathmatch. The Deathmatch is a classic deathmatch with a scoring system, so you'll get 5 versus 5 and you'll go to until the score of 100. When you reach 100, that team wins. So if you die, you will respawn again after like 5 to 10 seconds or something like that. And in elimination, you basically have just one life, so if you get killed, that's it for that match, and best out of 3 matches wins. So it is very interesting because the elimination makes you appreciate your ship much more. And what I kind of like more than Fractured Space is the matches here are fairly quick. About 10 minutes is the average time of a match. So in this here, you can see I'm a healer right now. I'll show you. I played with almost all the classes. I was the worst with the smaller Corvette, where you have to be fast and nimble. You get destroyed so fast, but you also can cloak yourself and move fast because you're harder to hit when you move fast. And you see here in the background, the maps are beautiful. I like it a lot, much more than in Fractured Space, for example. Now I don't want to bash on Fractured Space right now. I'm just comparing the two because those two games are very similar. Now what Dreadnought does much better than Fractured Space is actually the abilities that you have. And what I like the most is actually this energy bar that you have on your right side. You can see right now it's filling up on my screen. I have 100 now on the right side, that blue bar that I have. And you can use that to boost your basically firepower output, so you do more damage, or you can boost your shields so you can protect yourself, or you can boost your engines so you can move faster. And you deplete this energy bar. Once it's depleted, you have to wait till it fills up again, which gives you that kind of, I don't know, tactical thinking and just being aware of what you're doing and what you're supposed to do. You know, do I want to get out of here fast, and use that to boost my engines, or am I getting so much damage on me that I need to boost up my shields, but then I won't be able to get out of there fast, and stuff like that? Or do I want to maybe use it for my guns and just destroy him faster than I'll die? Because there's a interesting feature that they added here. If you are not getting shot at about 10 seconds or something like that, it's not longer than 10 seconds, I'm sure of it, your ship starts actually regenerating its health, and it actually regenerates pretty fast. So if you just lay low for 20-30 seconds, for example, and you were almost dead, you'll fill up your energy almost to full. So it kind of forces people to engage in fighting. There's no point if you damage that ship and he just hides himself for, as I said, 20 seconds, and he's back to full health again. So it forces that faster gameplay, you know, and then it's much more interesting and dynamic. And it's a shitload of fun, I gotta honestly say. So yeah, let me show you also a bit of the other ships, and we'll come back to the healer. I actually love the healer, and this is the ship I played at the end. I first started with the big Dreadnought because I figured, you know, I'll take a slow ship and you know, take it easy and then just dish out damage and see what happens. So let me. This is the Dreadnought, the biggest, meanest ship you can have. It's also the slowest ship you can have, but um, here you can see one thing. No matter what ship you have, you'll have primary and secondary guns. Now I'm firing now the primary, and I switch now to the secondary. That's like a flak cannon or flak guns that also explode in the air when they hit something. Uh, they have much shorter range, but also dish a lot of damage because they're very useful if something comes near you, like this Corvette right now, or maybe they launch some fighters on you, or maybe even missiles, torpedoes, whatever. It can help you out, and you can switch between your primary and your secondary cannons with the Q button, and then you have also the four abilities you can see on top of your screen with the 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons, and you have the energy bar with the E button. When you press E button, that thing comes um, in the middle of your screen, and then you move your mouse to the up or right or left if you want to boost your engines, your shield, or your damage output. And here I tried my fourth ability to warp away so I don't get destroyed, but I was just a few seconds too late, and sadly my big Dreadnought exploded. But I got my revenge because the guy who destroyed me was also destroyed as well. And the effects and everything look really, really awesome. You can really like see all the guns and missiles and, you know, torpedoes or whatever you're firing. It's there, it's on the ship. You can see it move and turn and fire, and it's really nicely done. Um, Let me show you a bit of the other classes as well. Now this is a destroyer. The destroyer is actually a pretty fun ship because it's not that sluggish as a dreadnought, but it still dishes out a lot of damage. And especially if you use the boost to boost your engines, it can move really, really fast. And what's really interesting is the main guns that I'm firing. You'll see here right now. I have to target them myself, and that goes also for the secondary weapons, so the ones you switch with the Q button. But the missiles I launched now and the torpedoes, they actually target automatically, and just it the little nice woman voice says like they're locked on, so you can fire them, and you can always see on the top of your screen it turns into green, into the green color if it has a lock on some ship, and you can just fire it then. So that goes automatically. But when you have ships like this that are a distant away from you, you can see here now I can fairly easily hit him because it's a big ship. This is probably a dreadnought and it's moving fairly slow. But if he knows what he's doing, and he would do more this, like move up and down and maybe boost his engines and start moving, you have to anticipate his movement. You have to shoot in front of him to be able to get those hits, which can be really hard with ships that are moving fast. So the destroyer is actually pretty good in that regard because as I said, if you boost your engines, you can move pretty damn fast, so you can be pretty hard to hit, even though you are a big ship that has some firepower. And I'm just shit out of luck here to hit anybody with my missiles. You can see them flying over there, but the ship is already destroyed. Now I haven't seen that happening if they will pick up another target. I don't think they're actually hitting the other ship, or they are. Interesting. I don't know if they pick up another target if it's right there where the other ship was. I know they don't fly to the other side if that target disappeared, and they just then fly off to some else ship, because you see that it needs that time to get that lock on. So I have to wait until I get that message, you know, your missiles or torpedoes are locked on, you can fire them. Like now I see I can fire them right now on that ship, and hopefully it won't die until they get there. But I have to check the other side as well, because You never know. You have to mini-map which you can see your enemies, but if the enemies not seen by anybody, like nobody sees it at the moment, you won't even see it on the mini-map as well. So that's kind of cool. You have those Corvettes and smaller ship that have also that cloaking device, and let me show you a bit of that as well. This is the little Corvette. It actually looks very fun to play. I just sucked at it big time. Like the last match, actually, we won fairly easily. We really destroyed the other team, but at this match, they just ripped us a new one. So it could also maybe have something to do with it that I sucked at this match. But it just there's a specific way you need to play this ship, you know. You need to get in and get out fast, and you need to use the environment in your favor. You know, you need to use that cover. You need to use the mobility of your ship to get behind some cover fast so they can't destroy you, because you get destroyed so easily with this ship. I was so shocked. And here's another mistake that I made. I didn't point the ship correctly. Like, there is a limit that your guns can fire in an arc around you, up, down, left and right, and you have to position yourself correctly to be able to do that. So I totally made that mistake and then went out of cover totally, and yeah, was destroyed in like 5 seconds. So you really have to watch your step and watch what you're doing with this ship. But it's also a lot of fun because you can go around the battlefield and do circles around all the ships and dish out different kinds of damages, because as I said, you can also switch out the guns and the equipment that your ship has and upgrade it and get better ones or different ones altogether, you know, stuff that does something totally different than the ones you have. So there's a lot of customization and a lot of just options that you have, you know, that how you can play the game. So from that perspective, I like it much more than Fracture Space, I gotta be honest. So let's get back to our healer and end this video with a more positive note than me just being destroyed over and over again in this match. I'll let you see this one as well. He fired now some kind of rocket or nuclear device or whatnot, I don't know. And I fired my torpedoes into the rock, which is also kind of awesome. Good job. Now you see here, I'm not getting damage, and there it goes. My health starts to regenerate, and you see it regenerates fairly quickly. Like, I just need to stay another 10 seconds in cover or in cloak, and I'm at full health again. So not even needing a healer, you know, to be able to heal yourself. You just need to find good cover, and basically you will the ship will heal itself. And here I made a mistake again, thinking that I can trade hits with this other ship. Like, this small Corvette is just hit and run, hit and run. You can't stay there and just think you can destroy the other ship before it destroys you. Nope, that won't happen. I even managed to fire my torpedoes at the end, but yeah, it was all for nothing. So this basically a quick overview of this was interesting. You saw that purple color that I got around my ship. Somebody threw something on my ship and I got all my abilities cancelled for about 10 seconds. So it's really interesting to see, because some people have already their ships that they bought and they can then customize it. As I mentioned, you can then change your layouts and equipment that you have. And there's a really fun abilities. I don't even know half of them yet, but it's interesting to see them used here in the game as well. And you see here there's like a nuke that somebody threw on that ship. But they used my boost to boost my engines to come near him as fast as I could, and I started healing him, and I actually managed to keep him alive. So that was kind of fun. I really like the healer. I always like to play a healer in MMOs, so it is kind of something that is close to my heart, as they said. But yeah, this is Dreadnought in a nutshell. The game is free to play, or will be free to play at launch. Also, you can get into the closed beta, but you have to apply for it. If you don't want to wait to see if you get into the closed beta, you can also buy a hunter's pack that will grant you access, guaranteed access into the closed beta, so you can get in right now and play the game. The game is pretty stable. It is really fleshed out. I didn't have any major issues. uh, yeah, no big crashes or anything. The only thing that where the game is still a bit unstable, I can see, is if you have an unstable internet connection. So if you lose connection for a few seconds, the game can just freeze up and crash on you. So there is that, but it is a beta, it is testing, so they warn you about that. It's also nothing major. It is something major if you have an internet connection like I have. I wanna fucking scream out of my lungs when I have like 10 times a day lose my internet connection, but that's another issue. I mean, it is a shitload of fun. It's a great game. So yeah, I'll leave in the description the link to the Dreadnought site where you can also apply for the closed beta if you want to get in. And yeah, that's it for me. This is Dreadnought. This was Alex the Maniac. Thank you all guys for watching, and I'll see you all next time.